Hey, good evening from Taipei, well, New Taipei City, Taiwan, of course. Hope you're all doing very good. It's just a really quick update about my residency status, which is a bit strange if you've been here like for 13 years and I've already got residency. However, I have done a previous video in my playlist talking about all the different visas, all the different residencies which you can get. So this video isn't all about because you can go onto that video and it'll give a detailed breakdown. However, there have been some changes to foreigners who are a dependent of a Taiwanese national when you're married. So previously, like many other foreigners, you can go onto a marriage ARC, which is a JVFC, something like this. So basically it's like a residency through marriage. Now previously, there's been some mixed information of certain details. For example, if you're a foreigner on a spouse marriage residency of another foreigner, then sometimes you can't change it over to an APRC. Now, an APRC is Alien Permanent Residency Certificate instead of a ARC, which is just your Alien Resident Certificate, which you can get through work or through different schemes such as being a student, or the working holiday visa, or working holiday kind of access, and then you get your ALC through there. However, the APRC is permanent residency, which means you've been in the country working for 5 years, or you've been a resident on the ARC for 5 years or longer without having a break. I think you cannot leave for a certain period within a year. So out of a year, you need to be in country by a certain amount. I totally forgot the actual stats and figures. Which now previously, even though I have been on the marriage ARC, previously I've been out the country over the threshold. And when I went to apply for my APRC, and like always, a lot of the times when you go to immigration, different people tell different things. Although they are super, they can get cross communication and mixed wires sometimes. So then I had to wait for another year and then another year before I had actually done the 5 years without a break, where I had left Taiwan when I was working abroad. So finally, after still being on my marriage visa, to then being able to transfer to my APRC to permanent residency status, it means that I don't have to renew my residency, my ARC anymore, which is through marriage. And basically it's just open, which means it's open work permit, which it didn't used to be. And there wasn't any complications. So the basic breakdown was, I just went with my original marriage ARC with my wife's ID, and then some passport photocopies, and filled out the form. Then it's 10,000 NT fee. And look, if you renew your ARC yearly, it's around 1,000 or 2,000 NT a year. Or if you do it for 2 years, 2,000 a year. So 10,000 is for your APRC registration, which you don't have to renew, it's ongoing. Now, it was that basic now to actually move from your marriage ARC visa onto then the APRC. Now previously you would have to sometimes take your spouse, and they have to sign a letter to say that they, just need to put my eggs in, sorry. It's just broke, I've done that totally wrong now. Right. So previously, and I just laughed and it's hurt my hernia. Right, so previously you had to go sometimes with your spouse, and you had to provide household registration, and they have to sign a letter to say that they agree with it and nothing's wrong in a marriage, or nothing is askew in the relationship, basically saying that there's no reason beyond doubt why for them wanting to get an APRC. Then you have to prove have funds to show income, to show that you can provide for yourself. And then also, if you was to get divorced, you'd have to go through certain rigmarole, because there was some APRCs which wouldn't allow you to work if you didn't get it through your work. And then, so let me just get that straight. If you got it through your work, you could normally transfer it over to an open working permit through the APRC. However, previously there were some limitations, and you may not be able to work openly. Even if you had the APRC, you would have to apply for something extra, apply for then an additional work permit. But now everything's open, and also on the APRC now, the Alien Permanent Residence Certificate, it doesn't matter if you divorce or not. It still doesn't change your status as an APRC holder. So now they're recognizing that you have got an APRC, regardless how you got it, and it's just more flexible and more open and less hassle when you apply for it. That's the big thing. Before, previously, it was a big hassle. Even when I applied for it before, because they told me I could, and then they told me I couldn't, I had to go through a lot of hassle. I had to have my wife, my son there were waiting for hours at immigration, and then filled out all the forms, all the letters, all the documentation, salary and all that nonsense, only for them to say, oh, actually, when I then went again to say, oh, actually, sorry, yeah, you can't get it just yet. So it's been a big relief. And look, if you say, well, if you're still married, then why did you go? Why do you need it anyway? It's just your own kind of independence for a spouse, for a foreigner. And it's nice that if you want to open a business, if you don't want any ties through your marriage, if you don't want to hassle for your partner's family, wife or husband's family, then it's just that independence for everyone. But also, I'm separated. I've been separated for a while, right? So it's, you know, it's kind of a natural step to whatever else may happen in the future. So that's just a little quick update. I am going to actually look up the stats, how long it is that you are allowed to be outside the country before it kind of resets again, if you are looking to apply for APRC, because some people don't realise, and they go out maybe for work or something, and then they come back and then the time's reset, so you've just lost 5 years or over, and you have to redo the 5 years again, which you want to try and avoid. So when I edit a video, not that it's going to take much editing, I'll just add it in somewhere, but do hit that video on the playlist about it's in the playlist. It's in the visa and residence the visa information guide, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to put the video up when I edit it as well on the screen somewhere. Okay, thanks for that. Quick thanks for that. My hernia again. Oh, laughing too deep as I laugh too much anyway. So, and anyway, that next video for my hernia operation is coming up because someone called me from the hospital today, then I called them back, then they called me back, then I called them back, and they said, look, we don't know who called you. So yeah, that's another issue anyway. So good luck, lots of love, stay strong, and if you need any more videos on Taiwan, Taipei living, watch them here.